What is starseed activation? The term starseed has become increasingly popular, but it is often misunderstood. Many people see it as nothing more than a spiritual identity or a mystical label. However, a deeper perspective suggests that starseed activation is not about adopting a new identity. It is about awakening dormant potential that has always existed within you. This process can be explored through modern genetics, neuroscience, quantum physics, and ancient spiritual traditions. Rather than imagining something arriving from outside, activation is viewed as an internal unfolding. It represents a gradual shift in consciousness that influences both the mind and body. The experience may feel mysterious, but it reflects profound biological and energetic changes that encourage a person to evolve into a more authentic version of themselves. Your DNA is more dynamic than you think. For decades, scientists believed DNA was a fixed blueprint that determined our lives. Today, epigenetics has changed that understanding. Research shows that our genes respond to environment, emotions, thoughts, and experiences. Gene expression can switch on or off depending on how we live. Even more fascinating is the discovery that nearly 98% of our DNA does not directly code for proteins. Once dismissed as junk DNA, scientists now know these regions produce regulatory molecules that influence gene activity. Some researchers believe these hidden genetic regions may play a role in expanded states of consciousness. From this perspective, starseed activation may represent the awakening of dormant biological potential rather than the creation of something entirely new. The body's hidden energy system. Many ancient traditions describe 7 major energy centers, or chakras, aligned along the spine. Interestingly, these chakras closely correspond with the body's major endocrine glands, which regulate hormones affecting mood, sleep, growth, stress, and metabolism. During periods of personal transformation, people often report sensations such as pressure in the forehead, tingling throughout the body, emotional sensitivity, vivid dreams, or sudden changes in sleep patterns. Rather than viewing these experiences as purely mystical, they may reflect temporary adjustments within the neuroendocrine system. Ancient spiritual teachings and modern biology appear to describe the same transformation using different languages, suggesting that consciousness and physiology are deeply interconnected. Earth's frequency and human consciousness. Our bodies are constantly interacting with the environment, including the Earth's natural electromagnetic field. One well-known example is the Schumann resonance, a frequency averaging around 7.83 Hz, which closely matches the alpha brainwave state associated with relaxation, meditation, and creativity. Some researchers propose that changes in Earth's electromagnetic activity may subtly influence human nervous systems. Although this remains an area of ongoing scientific investigation, many people report heightened awareness, emotional shifts, or unusual experiences during periods of increased geomagnetic activity. Whether viewed scientifically or spiritually, the idea suggests that human consciousness does not exist in isolation, but is continuously interacting with the natural rhythms of our planet. Quantum consciousness and inner transformation. Quantum physics has introduced ideas that challenge our traditional understanding of reality. Concepts like quantum tunneling demonstrate that particles can sometimes move through barriers that classical physics says should be impossible to cross. While this phenomenon applies to microscopic particles, it also serves as a powerful metaphor for personal transformation. Philosopher and physicist David Bohm proposed the concept of the implicate order, suggesting that everything in the universe emerges from a deeper, interconnected reality. From this viewpoint, starseed activation is not about becoming someone else. Instead, it is the gradual unfolding of qualities that already exist within your deepest nature, waiting for the right conditions to emerge. The butterfly transformation. One of the best ways to understand activation is by looking at nature. Before a caterpillar becomes a butterfly, its old body begins to dissolve inside the chrysalis. Tiny groups of cells called imaginal discs already contain the blueprint for the butterfly, but they remain inactive until the right moment. Likewise, human transformation often requires old beliefs, habits, and identities to break down before something new can emerge. This period may feel confusing or uncomfortable because the familiar self is fading while the new self is still forming. Although the process can be challenging, it is a natural stage of growth rather than a sign that something has gone wrong. Why activation can feel lonely? One of the most common experiences during profound personal transformation is a sense of isolation. Relationships that once felt comfortable may suddenly seem distant or disconnected. Physics offers an interesting analogy through wave interference. When two waves are out of sync, they cancel each other, creating destructive interference. When they vibrate together, they amplify one another through constructive interference. Human relationships often work in a similar way. As your perspectives, values, and awareness evolve, you naturally seek people who resonate with your changing frequency. Finding supportive communities with shared understanding can make the transformation feel less isolating and more empowering. Part 8. The Power of Heart Coherence. Approximately 1 minute. One of the simplest practices for supporting transformation involves focusing attention on the heart while breathing slowly and deeply. Research into heart coherence shows that calm, rhythmic breathing helps synchronize the heart, brain, and nervous system. This balanced physiological state improves emotional regulation, mental clarity, and overall well-being.